Dan Campbell was almost the Dolphins' head coach. Campbell grew up on his family's ranch in Morgan, Texas, a small town with only 6 to 10 kids per high school class, one stoplight, and only able to form a 6-on-6 football team. Dan wanted to play 11-on-11, and starting his sophomore year, would travel 30 miles to Glen Rose High School. Dan excelled, playing nearly every position, from safety to receiver to running back, and even some defensive end. He was highly recruited, with Miami even being interested, but he wanted to stay in Texas, committing to A&M to play tight end. He played only special teams his freshman year, but worked his way up and finished as an NFL prospect and regarded as a great leader on the team. He had a very impressive combine that got him drafted in the 3rd round by the Giants. But just a few years into his career, they drafted tight end Jeremy Shockey, who would take on most of the receiving role. If Campbell wanted to get on the field, he would have to earn his playing time through hard-nosed football, blocking in the trenches. He also helped Shockey during this time with film, how to conduct himself as a professional. Dan already had that coaching gene in him. After 4 seasons, he left to join the Cowboys, and the same season he arrived, they had drafted tight end Jason Witten. Once again, Dan helped, being a mentor to the future NFL great. Campbell would have one more stop in his NFL career after Dallas, the Lions. This stint was filled with countless injuries, and Campbell was even on the team during their lowest of lows during the 0-16 season. Campbell was not ready to hang it up quite yet though, signing with the Saints, but after a season-ending injury in camp, it was all over. The Saints went on to win the Super Bowl that year, and because he was only on the team during camp, he didn't receive a Super Bowl ring. The next step in his career was to continue doing what he loves, in a different way. Campbell's cousin coached at a private high school, and he allowed him to become the offensive line coach. Campbell fell in love with the coaching side of things, and his former offensive coordinator, Tony Sparano, started to let him watch the Dolphins practices, then invited him to watch training camp, and then eventually Dan was offered a coaching internship with the team. He then moved to the tight end coach for a few seasons, and in 2015, when they fired their head coach after an awful 1-3 start, Dan was named the interim head coach. He finished the rest of the season 5-7, which was impressive enough for the Dolphins to seriously consider making him the full-time coach. However, they went a different direction, and Campbell joined the Saints staff as an assistant head coach and tight ends coach. After 5 seasons there, the Lions hired Dan, and there was a lot of doubters, but so far, he's proved them wrong. His guys believe in him. They've won a playoff game, and they are certainly not done yet in Detroit.